time for bag number 13. And let's go ahead and get started. Looks like we're going to be building maybe Betty Brant's desk, perhaps, the receptionist desk. And it looks like a really interesting build. It's done in kind of the sand brown color. So let's get started. It actually looks kind of complex, a little more complex than the rest of the building was. So that's going to be interesting anyway. All right, let's get to it. Just got done watching the first episode of the Loki series, and I was really impressed. Thought it was fantastic. It's funny, I guess Sweet Tooth. Well, I've been seeing a lot of really good things about it. I know that it's gotten a lot of critical acclaim, so I'd say it's excellent. Have you seen it? 'Cause it looks wonderful. Nice. What did you think of it so far? Oh, cool. It looks very unique in a good way. Have you got a chance to watch Loki yet? I was really impressed by it. Never thought I'd see Owen Wilson in a Marvel project, so that was a good surprise. You'll love it. Fantastic. Here we have 99 missed calls from Eddie Brock. So Eddie's been trying to get in touch with him at the Bugle. Nothing. Maybe he too wants pictures of Spider-Man. Hard to say. All right. Good enough. I also have to remind myself perfection can really not be attained with Lego stickers. So let it go. All right. I think that's the receptionist desk. Oh, that's cool. It still swivels even though it kind of has like legs on it. Very nice. You know what? I'm confident that that's Betty's desk, so we are going to go ahead and let Betty sit down. She's had a long day at the office. There we go. It's the part where I make the fake sound effects of her typing, where I say bleep bloop, bleep bleep, bleep bloop, bleep bloop. I'm doing computer stuff. Okay. This looks like a little filing cabinet of some sort. And I believe this is where we're going to place those little Dundee-looking statues, which I've been so cracked up by that have found their way in this set. Maybe they're supposed to be like Pulitzers or something, but hey, Evan, hope you're doing well. Glad you could join us again. All right, put our little statue friends on this. I guess they're like on little display bases. I'm still very amused by these little minifigs. Like mini-figs, micro figs, right? I think that's what they're called. Yeah. I guess that's what those are, just the micro figs that you get in like the little sets. I guess they're just cast in gold. I have no idea why it took me that long to figure that out, but it did. And this is some kind of gem or something. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Lego pirate ships will never, ever get old. Love that stuff. All right, this looks like it goes in, I believe this is going to be J. Jonah Jameson's office. I think. But first, we need to do J. Jonah Jameson's seat. At least I think. Watch me be wrong in hilarity. However, I do think this is the final top level that we're building right now. So naturally, Jonah is going to be at the very top of his office. I do think this is the very top of the Bugle, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think it is. All right. So his chair goes there, and filing cabinet goes right beside. Okay, looking good. And it looks like we're building J. Jonah Jameson's desk. So looks like we're just building some supports into it. Used to, when I was a kid, I wondered why old men would be whittling at like the barber shop. But now I kind of wonder if building Lego sets will be my generation when we're old. Maybe we'll be building Legos at the barber shop. And kids will be wondering why. Maybe it was like a similar thing for them. That's what I'm saying. Okay. There's a build coming up that I think is in the last bag. I'm pretty sure that's where you build the Spidermobile from the hilarious Spider-Man vehicle from some of the old 70s comics. I'm really looking forward to that. And it will be fun to do something kind of different than playset building. Which, you know, you have to love the variety the Lego put into this set. It feels like there's always something new. So I'm impressed. Every time I'm putting a keyboard on something, I think of those viral videos where the people like get the keyboard and they ram it through the computer monitor. Maybe there should be a polybag set that is just that. It's a little Lego minifig. He's totally had it. Then he destroys his office. Has a little office with like a collapsible monitor. See, that would probably go in the Lego meme series that I was talking about. That I would sincerely be excited about, the Lego meme series. You'd have the Irma Gerd, it's Gerspumps girl. She could be part of the CMF series for the Lego memes. So you got her. You get the little girl that's smiling when the building's on fire behind her. She'd be in the Lego CMF series for the memes. Then you would have legendary memes, like the guy, what's his name? Where he's smiling, but it looks like he's in pain. And then you could have tribute figures like Grumpy Cat, you know, like rest in peace. Keyboard Cat, rest in peace. All tribute figures. I think that would be incredible. Star Wars kid could be one of them. The kid who did all the crazy lightsaber tricks and became the viral sensation before that was even like a term that people used. He was like one of the very originals. Looks like Peter Parker, you're fired. So it's not a... Of course, though, I wonder how many times J. Jonah Jameson has actually fired poor Peter. And then subsequently rehired him after he turned in more pictures of Spider-Man. But I think there's been a lot of temporary firings. Yeah, sure, that's good enough. Okay, so that's definitely Jonah's desk. Put it right there. Looking good. And it looks like we're going to be building the dividing wall. I like how J. Jonah Jameson's office has this kind of royal-looking burgundy. Almost like you can tell it's the nicest. Like J. Jonah Jameson has spared no expense when it comes to his own office and his own comfort. Although I will say, I always appreciated that in the Raimi films, there's that one scene where I guess it's the Green Goblin. He's looking for Peter Parker and to try to find out how to lure out Spider-Man. And Jameson actually lies and just says that he doesn't even know who takes the pictures of Spider-Man. I mean, I think that that's something that's also present in the comics, that J. Jonah Jameson may be a jerk, but he's definitely a good guy. He was willing to put himself in danger to save Peter. I always thought that was admirable. And probably only Sam Raimi would have pushed for that kind of thing, since he's so familiar with the old comics. All right, so that door is just the way to get to J. Jonah Jameson's office. Still wish they would have included Hoffman from the Raimi films. I would have loved to have gotten a Hoffman minifigure. I know he's not from the comics, but Hoffman is truly hilarious in the Raimi films. At least I don't think he's from the comics. If he is, I didn't have a clue. I didn't know a thing about it if he was. I just assume that is the character that Sam Raimi made up for his brother Ted to play. All right. Wall is looking good. And we have another opportunity to apply a sticker. So yay us. Here it is. This looks like another... Well, actually, it's a duplication of the Jumbotron on the outside of the building. So you can see it up there with the headline about the clones. And then this is the smaller version. So it's funny. Can we make this work? Huh? All right. Hopefully I can get this halfway decent. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'll take it. A rare time when it just went on the right way. No repositioning or anything like that necessary. And once again, I'm going to have problems with Sandman accidentally obscuring pieces, so he gets to go to the back for a while. All right, and there it is. Oh, forgot to angle my camera back down. You guys are probably wondering what was happening. Oh, so this is actually a silver, like a drum lacquered piece right here. Cool. At least I think it is. And in my excitement, I put it on the wrong side. Pure Lego thrills, ladies and gentlemen. Pure Lego thrills. Okay. It's like a little power indicator or something there. And on the back, we have a little mount, unlike a real TV. Okay, I think that's right. There it is. All these gray pieces just blend together. Oh, I see. This part fits in a little claw right there. So it is just like a TV mount you would see like in an office, and it's actually adjustable to where you can take it back like that. I think it looks better cornered like that. Almost like Betty can see what's on the Jumbotron outside, like it's another feed. That's cool. I actually like that quite a bit. All right, and we're going to make two little windows with these black frames. There's one. And there's one. And those go on the divider between J. Jonah Jameson's office and Miss Brandt. God forbid that anybody has access to J. Jonah Jameson. I actually think this would be a good time to go ahead and put Jameson in his desk, which is a big moment for the build. There we go. Miss Brandt. That's great. All right, building up that wall a little bit more. I think this is one of the last ones of these burgundy pieces that we have to use. Kind of reminds me of Palpatine's office in the Star Wars prequels. So don't think that's intentional, but it's cool. All right, we have a little piece here that just fills in the line. There, that's a better angle so you can see what I'm doing. And then we have this one. I'm working on the channel right now to where I'm hoping to have an option very soon to where we can do more kind of like live streams and just kind of like discussions about shows and things like that. And I'm hoping that that will be something that just becomes more of a permanent staple of the channel. It's just like an expected thing. Have kind of a schedule where we can do that at least 2 or 3 times every week. I think that would be fun. And I don't think, you know, my channel isn't really geared towards Lego necessarily. And I kind of think it sounds like a nightmare to create a whole nother channel. I know people do it all the time. But I sort of think that the Lego portion of the channel could be more represented by these live streams. I think people kind of gives us a backdrop to discuss and decompress. However, I think I need a more comfortable setup. So right now I'm leaning forward over my camera and it's kind of painful. It's not too bad, but my back knows it. Now I feel like Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker. My back. All right. We're going to make, I think, 3 of these. And of course, these are just the support beams that we've been building ad nauseum the entire time. But the consistent effect and the look of the skyscraper is going to be well worth all of the monotony of building these supports. I will say this is the only element of the build, building these studded support beams that got old to me. And that's probably a huge accomplishment considering this is the biggest, like vertically that speaking, this is the largest building that Lego has ever done officially. I mean, you know, mock builders go crazy with this stuff. Could you imagine the people who are going to buy like 2 or 3 of these sets? And I certainly don't have the money for something like that, but there are going to be people, and you know that they will. They'll buy like 3 of these, and they're just going to have the Daily Bugle be like, they're going to just stack them. Daily Bugle will be like 10 stories tall. It'll be really insane. And that may actually be to the point where it's too tall in terms of Lego scale. All right. So we have our 3 of those. Okay. So there's a couple of different spots where we're going to put these. One of them, I think, thought it went there. Ah, there it is. So one of them goes on the outside corner, right there. One of them goes over here. One of them goes over here. Yep. And then we build another. It's the alternating version. Hey, man. How you doing? 2, 3, 4, 5. Appreciate you joining us this evening. You been building anything good lately? That's how Lego friends check on each other. First thing is, how are you? And then, are you building anything good? It's like Lego self-care. I like it. Is everything okay? Have you gotten in your weekly allotments of building? I know I feel much better when I do, actually. I have a lot of respect for psychiatry and psychology. But if you ask me, do you see a psychiatrist? The answer is no. But I do build Lego quite a bit. So, not there's anything wrong with seeing a psychiatrist. The Lego helps. Getting some Lego healing going on here. Maybe that's a medical book I should write. Lego Healing by Fanboy Jared. So we are building 10, that's right, 10 strips of windows. Pure insanity. This might be one of the last, yep, it looks like it. I think this is the last windows that we're going to be building for the set. I can't believe that we're wrapped up on such an important element of this gigantic New York City skyscraper. I have to say, other than the stickers being cut a little off-center, and, Lego, I'm sure, will help me out on that, this has been a really enjoyable build. I think just being able to see your progress just stack one level to the next has been tremendous. Usually it's more spread out and more, you got to look for your progress as you go. But no, as you go on this, there's no question of where you're at and how you're doing so far. It's your progress. It's almost like when you download something on a computer and there's the progress bar. It's like a vertical version of the progress bar. They should have like a little indicator on the side that's like almost there, getting close. I really imagine this will be kind of a playland for your minifigs. And then people who are smart enough to be collecting some of the Spider-Man minifigs before now. Not me, because I was not smart enough to be doing that. I think that they're going to be really pleased that they're going to have a place to kind of have a war between Spider-Man and his villains. And I really think the people who have the Bridge Showdown, I think that's what it was called, and from the Web Warriors series, I think they're going to be very pleased, because why wouldn't you have the Bridge lead right out from the Daily Bugle? I think that would be fun. Some people bought like 2 of those bridges, and if you bought 2, you would have a complete bridge with both ends. But I'm really glad that there appears to be no need to buy 2 or 3 or whatever of the Daily Bugle set. For one, people couldn't afford it, and it is very much a complete set. It doesn't feel like anything was compromised, and even in really large sets, direct-to-consumer sets, it always feels like something. Well, it doesn't always feel that way, but sometimes it does feel like things are compromised, or things, oh, well, I understand why they couldn't do that. Oh, it was a cost thing. No, I don't get any of those feelings from the Daily Bugle. It feels complete. It feels comprehensive. Now I sound like Baron Zemo talking about the Trouble Man album from Marvin Gaye. It's complete, comprehensive. I think Baron Zemo was the unexpected breakout hit of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm wondering if Owen Wilson is the unexpected breakout hit of the Loki series. I'm loving his stuff. keep expecting him to say, wow, wow. Sees Loki do something cool. Wow, wow. It's probably unfair of me. Yep, we are almost through this bag. It's hard to believe. You know, honestly, a vast majority of this bag was just building these windows. And so it goes much quicker than you think it would. I'm also really pleased with J. Jonah Jameson and Betty Brant's like office spaces back here. I think those are really nice. I think they look terrific. Oh. Windows, windows, windows. Okay. A couple more. We need to put the top and bottom on. There it is. All right, and we just line those suckers up all around the building. Love this because it just feels like you're putting in big pre-built sections that doesn't feel like you've had to do very much to fill it all in. So I actually like that. Fast and easy, count me in. I decided to stop numbering the live streams. I'll probably go in later and assign this one a number. Truth is, I couldn't think if this one was 6 or 7. I couldn't remember. And too lazy to go and check. But it's kind of like movie sequels, how after a while they stop numbering them because they're embarrassed about how many there's been. That's why you start seeing them put like "the" in front of the title and count that as a movie sequel title. It's the most unoriginal thing. You know, bless his heart. I love James Gunn, but The Suicide Squad is not exactly the most original title they could have come up with. But who knows? Maybe the title itself is a joke. Who knows? James Gunn, you never know. Could very well be a commentary on movies being called The. So this set is The Daily Bugle. That was cheap. Okay. Top up here. I imagine that's some sort of support. And over this way, this just looks like a part of a beam. And we have this. We have this. This appears to just stick in. I think. I feel like I put the seat in its way and I've knocked J. Jonah Jameson right out of it. Come on, JJ. What did I do wrong? Okay, let's see here. I think I have the seat a little too far back, and that is fine. At least the desk is fairly modular. Came out a little easier than I expected it to. That's something that they've gotten infinitely better at in Lego sets. Seems like the things that should be removable you can remove without it taking an act of Congress and just being overall messy. So I'm glad that they've done so much better with that in recent years. Okay, and yeah, that works. Still feel like the chair is kind of off center now. Yeah, I think I've goofed up on that a little bit. Let's try repositioning that chair one more time, because I don't think I'm doing it right. I see. The back corner, so it goes on the peg, or the stud, should I say. Yeah, now it's centered up. Perfect. Perfect. All right, now we're going to line the top of the window panels, and this is what keeps the windows from, of course, doing this number right here where they're all wobbly and all in different tracks. So let's get to it. Okay, it's going to be hard to connect these. Let's start with the front first. Seems a little more straightforward. Maybe that'll help align things in the back, make that part a little easier. All right, stay. And if you're asking, does it really help to tell your pieces stay? Yes, it does. Stay. All right, there. Okay. Okay. It's on that part. Okay, got all that lined up. I may have to switch to this side because I have to be able to see if I've got these lined up right. Okay, yeah, that made it a little easier. Okay. Oh yeah, that's looking nice. Okay, we are getting bad close here to the end. We are on bag 14. So let's make it happen. Hard to believe it's already time for another one. This looks like mostly windows. to the side. And there's a huge variety of bags for 14. I think there's like 4 different bags that comprise what's referred to as 14 in this. So here's another one. 4 or 5 bags, maybe. Lots of cool minifigs in this variety of bags. You get J. Jonah Jameson's reseated at his office here. We have Spider-Ham in this bag, and Venom, and Miles Morales, so it's almost like they, it's funny how all of a sudden there's a ton of minifigs. It's like they forgot to put them in the other ones. They had to rush. Like, where do we put these guys? I know, bag 14. That's what we'll do. It's so really funny that we've been building all this time and the Spider-Man minifig has still not materialized, since it appears he's in the final bag of our build. Bag 16, so we are almost there. All right. Time to assemble our minifigures. I'll start with Miles here. I love the chest printing there. That is nice. That is high quality. Okay, looking for his head and now his legs. All right, got his pants here. And the head. All right, now that is a cool looking minifig. Loving it. I also like the nice little shadow, like highlighting on the eyes there. That's something Lego never would have done just 10 years ago. They've really kind of hit their stride when it comes to more complex prints. Of course, they're still struggling with printing light colors on black plastic. That's still something they have not sorted out. They haven't gotten it right yet. They're getting a little better, but on the Batman minifigs, it's particularly noticeable. You'll get a Batman minifig, and the flesh tone of his face will look completely muted out because they printed it on a black piece, and they weren't able to hide that very well. Not very convincingly. Oops, wrong way. I really love the web lines that you build in this set. Okay, looks good. Looking good. 3D, whoa. All right. This is nice. Love it, love it, love it. You know, I guess this is the same kind of minifig that we've seen for Venom, like in the past. But it's new to me. I don't have one. We're building the Tendrils. Nice. Venom, I suppose he's supposed to look ferocious, but he kind of just looks surprised. I feel like they've kind of overdone it with some of these tendrils, like from the symbiote. Like, I think just a couple would have done the trick, but they have him like as this mass. He's almost like an octopus at this point. It's like a giant squid. See, it's kind of a it's kind of a mess. I don't know. I built it because that's what's in the instructions, but I'm not going to keep it like that, I don't think. Probably make him a little simpler. I kind of feel like Venom, they sort of got away with him after he was introduced and Todd McFarlane created him. All of a sudden, it just seemed like insanity that they were artistically with Venom. He was just, his tongue was 80 miles long and the symbiote was doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And if you look at Venom's original character design, it's a lot more conservative. But who knows? Maybe that's what Todd wanted, or that's what he intended with the character. Here is Spider-Ham. That's right, we don't have Spider-Man yet, but by golly, we've got Spider-Ham. Do you even really need a Spider-Man? Spider-Ham is plenty good enough. Look at that. Just gonna put him beside Daredevil. That's the team up that the people want. All right, I feel like I spent way too long building minifigs, but with Venom was like a pseudo build. So I'm gonna put Miles up here so he can kind of hang out and do his thing. Oh yeah, Spider-Ham. I'm telling you, it's a cool minifig too. And that exact minifig, I don't think there's anything exclusive about it for this set, because I think you can get him in the, maybe he's in the Spider Lair set. I don't know which one he's in, but he's in a couple of different ones, actually, I think, that are out right now. So at least they've made him available, and I've knocked him over. Okay. Looks like we're just topping off some of this on the top. And I do believe that since this is the top level, I think this is where we're going to be building on like the whole roof portion. So I think that that's what we're going to be mostly focusing on with all these parts. Let's raise it up a little bit because we're going to need a little bit more verticality to get up there, I think. Where we can kind of more, you guys can see what's happening. There we go. Almost forgot that one. So it looks like we have the top portion all smoothed out. Not really sure what we're building in this part. Oh, I see. It's an air vent, like AC unit. It's on the outside of the building. And I think this is where the bird nest goes. Wrong way. Okay. We have this delightful piece here, which looks like a fur collar that's being used for the nest. And then we have the bird. And I think that's what keeps this piece on, is you have to plug the bird in. A sentence I never thought I would say. Okay. All right, that actually looks pretty convincing. Yeah, it's pretty neat, actually. All right. Yeah, this plugs in right here. Okay. I love little details like that. It's fantastic. Not something you would ever even imagine that they would think to do with a set like this. We also need to go ahead and put the little support barrier things on the outside. Oops. J. Jonah Jameson is so excited he fell out of his chair. All right, got him plugged in now. I should probably do the same thing for Betty Brant. I almost took her desk out. Well, that's one thing I'll say is that her desk is not very durable because it just fell apart, or at least part of it did. They probably should have made that a little more structurally sound. There we go. That's better. And I think this is the last piece that needs a large sticker. And it is a giant billboard of J. Jonah Jameson saying just the facts. I believe it's the sticker, the big one. I'll be happy not to have to put any more of the giant stickers on. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Looks nice. And I almost slapped the camera right off its stand, which is a real mark of quality with a YouTube channel. All right, this looks like the little lights that go over the billboard. Love those little details. All right, got our little lights. Then we need the little hooks. Oh yeah, that's actually a really cool effect. Maybe they've used this before, but it's the first time I've built something with little lights over the billboard like you would see in real life. Okay, that's actually really neat. It's little details like that that really help sell the thing. All right, and this turns around. I was wondering what went in little blue sections here. Oh, I actually forgot something. And that should plug right in. Put them on upside down. A Lego master such as myself? There's no way. Surely it must be a mistake. It's hard to tell on the instructions exactly where they have these placed. It's almost one of those things where you have to try it and just see if it works. But I do know these go down a little closer. Now let's try it and see if that does the job. Okay. Yeah, that works. We now actually get to add it to the height of the building, so this is going to be huge. We're gonna have to go way up for this. There we go. I'm running out of backdrop. There we go. All right, this thing is huge. See the Green Goblin shaking. Okay, and with the other pieces from the bag, it looks like all of them are going to go to build the front window there. Man, this thing is gigantic. Had to double check that that was the right size piece. And I'm assuming this is the bottom for where the window panels are. Oh, that's all right, man. Glad to see you. We are getting very, very close to completing this thing. So, pretty exciting. The thing is huge. This thing is going to take its own coffee table to display. Maybe Lego could make a killing off selling like display items that are just for certain sets. Like, you know, here's this $300 set, but you also need the IKEA cabinet that you can buy. Is made just to house it, and that's all. Turns out everybody needs one. Okay. Of course, I do think Lego has entered into some sort of agreement with IKEA. I think they have some kind of Lego storage shelves or something. I saw somebody review them. They didn't look like they were particularly high quality or anything, but I don't know. I guess they were neat for what they were. Like little stackable storage things for your Lego pieces. It definitely looked like it was aimed more towards younger audiences, though, and not necessarily something most adult fans would probably be clamoring to get, but that doesn't mean it's not cool. Looked like a pretty neat display piece, if nothing else. I guess I was wrong. These I think should be the last window pieces in the entire build. After that, I don't think there's any others. This goes on that end. This is kind of just the framing for the windows. Some of these building techniques were far more simple than I thought they would be. I guess you're just kind of overwhelmed by the size of the thing. You see it in the promo shots and all that, and it's really some relatively simple ways that they have of accomplishing this, and it works out really well because these are actually really dirt simple. But honestly, that's probably for the best. Then we have 3 more of those columns. And after this, I think we just have to plug in the window pieces, the transparent ones. I wonder when Lego will actually start focusing on the X-Men at all again. There shouldn't be any rights problems now that Marvel bought Fox. I think they could do some incredible X-Men sets. I would love to see those. Honestly, I might even want to see the Fantastic Four sets even more. Doctor Doom's castle, the Fantastic Car. I would buy it. The Baxter Building, which is, I would love to see that as a as another direct-to-consumer set. All right, and this time we're going to be building 10 strips of windows. And each one has 5 windows in it. 2, 3. There's 1. After this portion, all we'll have to do is just build the roof of the thing, and then it's done. And there's plenty of things going on the roof. I think there's the water tower up there, and then there's also the Spidermobile or the Spider Car, whatever you want to say. That's kind of its own little separate build, so I think some of the neatest parts of the build are actually at the very top. Honestly, I'll kind of be glad to be done building the main building. Maybe Lego has kind of factored in how long people are willing to keep going with a structure, just like a straight up structure build like that. I personally think that's why they put things in it like the taxi and the Spidermobile, is because they were trying to throw in some variety to make the build a little smoother, a little more enjoyable, a little less monotonous. Things like the newsstand, where Amber Grant works. I think variety is important with these giant sets. just need to top each of these windows and put a base on them, and then we'll be ready to plug them in. Top and bottom. Okay, all right, I think these are ready to be plugged in. One concern I have is I sort of wonder if dust or grime will kind of cake onto these transparent window pieces over time. I mean, it can be a problem with Lego sets, and sometimes I just use a paintbrush to actually dust the Lego sets. I think that works pretty well. But I do wonder, where there's so many transparent elements on this, are we ever looking at, like, I mean, I suppose just the passage of time, it's only natural to expect that we're going to see some yellowing or something. But I guess that's a problem for the future. All right, and now we're just going to be sealing the top off of the windows to make sure, I guess, that they stay in place. I think that's the purpose. Okay. 3. All right. Now it looks like we have another layer on the top because Lego wants to make sure that those windows don't go flying. Ah. All right, got that. We have some of those ridge pieces, kind of give it some decoration like we've seen on the other big window. You have little rounded off pieces. It goes between each. going to put in the support pieces. And you never know, this may be the last ones we put in for the entire set. Because I think the rest of the building is covered aside from the roof. So this has been something that we've done all throughout. It's kind of funny to reach the end of that. Right here at the end, the last one we need to put in just snaps into. Because Lego sets include extra pieces, but they have really cut down on the likelihood of you getting like an extra, a large piece of anything. Like the extra pieces you get now are just tiny. I guess it's because Lego is doing like robot computer sorting on the pieces now to try to improve accuracy to make sure that there aren't pieces left out, but that means that you can't get those huge extra pieces that are so great to get. I think the days of getting those are just over now that they're much more exact. You know, it's a good thing. I suppose that, you know, it can be more accurate and you won't have missing pieces. I remember a few years ago, I was actually missing an entire bag from a Lego set, which has never happened again, but it was crazy. Instead, I think they gave me 2 of the same bag, like 2 of the same number, and I was missing an entire bag that was a different number. So that was kind of crazy. And I'm really hoping that's a thing in the past. So these kind of look like little flag poles that are coming out almost. I could be wrong here, but that's what these look like anyway, that we're plugging in. Okay, those look good. Okay, and we are going to pop that onto the front at the very top of the skyscraper. There we go. And this should give it a certain level of completion, at least from the front. All right. So that leaves us very near to the end. Very little to go now. Let's cheat it. And before we sign out, let's go ahead and at least get the minifigs out of bag 15. Because these are some of the ones that I've definitely anticipated the very most, and I just don't feel like waiting. So why not? I'm seeing Blade's sword here. Seeing Blade's head. That's important. I still can't believe that they did a Blade minifig in Lego style. Firestar's head. It is a weird day when I can say that Blade and Firestar are packed in the same bag of Lego parts. Not a sentence I ever thought I would get to say, but you know, hey, here we are. Life is full of serendipity. You can see the giant pieces of the water tower for when we get to build that. Okay, I see Firestar's legs, the hair, what a hairpiece it is, and the chest, Blade's chest. There's Blade's legs. All right, let's build Blade first. So glad we finally got a Blade in Lego form. I have a feeling this might be the only one until the eventual MCU reboot. Blade looks like he's having a good time there. Smiling ear to ear. Of course, if it's the Wesley Snipes Blade, then he smiled pretty frequently, so. All right, looking good. And Firestar. The printing on Firestar is absolutely next level for Lego. You can see all the crazy shading that they have going on, and I think it looks great. A smile or angry face. That's right, Blade didn't get an angry face, but by golly, Firestar did. That dark, dark Marvel character. All right, that looks good. And then I believe there are little flames for her hands somewhere that we're supposed to plug in. I was making sure they weren't in this bag. What would Firestar be without her fire? Here they are. They were actually in the fire effects bag from way back. So let's plug those in. At least I think these are the ones. I mean, I don't know what else it could be. Okay. There's one of the effects. And then the other. Perfect. All right. So we've got these two minifigs. And that means that I think the only minifigure left in the entire set might just be Spider-Man himself. I think that's right. But the next time we will be completing the set, I believe. So pretty exciting. Hard to believe that we're finally here. Oh, it's Dr. Octopus and Spider-Man are the last two minifigures. That's right. So yeah, next time you tune in, that'll be it for the Daily Bugle. We'll take one last look at our progress so far. All the different levels and the Green Goblin bursting through, and there's Spider-Gwen all the way to the unfinished top. What's funny is that I'll have run out of background, and then you can just see my stuff. So that there will be no more background when we finally finish the top of the Daily Bugle. So I'm looking forward to it. You can see the pieces of the water tower just setting around, ready to be assembled. And yeah, tune in next time for our grand finale of the Lego Daily Bugle. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Y'all have a great night. God bless all of you. Take care.